It's Thursday, June 18th. I'm Sharon Abobi, and this is Open Bid from FNDATA. We begin with the markets and the Federal Reserve. In his first meeting as chair, Kevin Warsh held interest rates steady as expected, but indicated that nearly half of the Fed's policymakers now project at least one rate increase before the end of 2026. This was firmer than investors expected. Bond yields jumped and stocks fell on the prospect of higher rates. The Dow closed down about 1% at around 51,500, and the S&P 500 lost about 1.2% to around 7,420 as the optimism from this week's US-Iran deal gave way to a more sober view of where rates are heading. The fallout is still rippling this morning. Gold, which has lately been on a record run, has dropped to around $4,262 an ounce. Oil has eased to around $74 a barrel as the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz points to more supply. European luxury opened lower today following Wall Street. LVMH, ticker MC in Paris, was down about 0.8%. Burberry in London was down about 1.2%. Hermès, Kering, and Richemont were modestly lower. We have two notes from the business side of luxury. Diageo, the world's largest spirits company and the maker of Johnnie Walker, has a new chief executive. According to the Financial Times, Walker is telling managers to cut jobs and costs, a clear sign of the pressure on the drinks industry now that the post-pandemic boom has faded. And Allbirds, the sustainable sneaker brand once celebrated as a Silicon Valley success story, has sold its brand assets to the licensing firm American Exchange Group, a quiet end to its run as an independent company. We have a couple of quick notes for collectors. On the car side, Bentley has unveiled a 1 of 100 bespoke Continental GTS, and a firm called Evoluto has built a resto mod of the 1990s Ferrari F355, limited to 55 cars. We will have more on this in today's auto markets. And in Los Angeles, the third annual open house gathering brought independent watchmakers and collectors together, more evidence of the energy building around the independent end of watchmaking, the very corner of the market that has been setting records at auction. Turning to the art world, attention this week is on Switzerland, where Art Basel is now in full swing. Despite the cautious mood, buyers have been active at the top end, snapping up blue-chip works, and a Picasso led the early sales at around $35 million. For more perspective on that figure, consider the ceiling for the artist. In the FNDATA database, the most valuable Picasso ever sold is Les Femmes d'Alger, which brought in $179.4 million at Christie's. So even a $35 million Picasso sits comfortably within the artist's range. Two stories this week turn on a single question about who really owns a work of art. In Mexico, the government has formally urged Sotheby's to halt the sale of two pre-Columbian artifacts, arguing that they are part of the national heritage and should have never reached the bloc. And in a long-running restitution case, the dealer, David Namad, has been given 30 days by a court to return a Modigliani painting that was looted by the Nazis. Taken together, these are a reminder that provenance, the documented history of who owned a piece and how, is becoming as valuable as the work itself. A few more developments worth noting. The Obamas have unveiled their first official painted portrait together by the artist Njideka Akunyili Crosby, timed to this week's opening of the Obama Presidential Center in Chicago. In whiskey, the Scotch distillery Old Pulteney has released its oldest and most expensive bottling yet as a 50-year-old single malt. That's it on Open Bid for today, Thursday, June 18th. Our weekly auto market show publishes later today, and closing price follows this evening at 5 p.m. Eastern. For more insights on the stories in today's Open Bid, check out the FNDATA Market Index and datasets, which cover the secondary market signals behind the luxury names we follow. You can start for free with our data sandbox. To get started, reach us on our website, altfndata.com, or by email at info@altfndata.com. Subscribe to get notified of new episodes, and if you love the show, please leave us a 5-star rating on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. I'm Sharon Abobi from FNDATA. I'll talk to you in the next episode. Thank you for listening.